Hi and welcome to SBR.TV. I'm Judy Russell and this is Peter Loshak. And today we're joined by Keith Simonton, the managing editor from IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. He has been kind enough to donate his time to talk to us about the 83rd Annual Academy Awards that will take place this Sunday. Thanks a million for being here, Keith.
Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Now, before we get into specific categories and odds, we'll be looking at the specific categories and odds we'll be looking at. Anyone who glances over the betting odds for the Oscars for the first time will notice that there are loads of absolutely massive favourites. Lots of categories have lines that imply 80% and 90% favourites. So Keith, my first question is for you. How justified do you think those huge favourite lines are? In major categories, does the big favourite really win 90% of the time? And how often are there upsets of those major favourites?
Well, this is a year where it's a pretty good bet that that the favorites are gonna be the winners. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of surprises this year. You really see a lot of indication from the Guild Awards,
right,
like the SAG Awards. They win the SAG Awards. It's the same group that votes for the Oscars, the Screen Actors Guild, and they're probably going to follow that same line. It pretty much follows. Last year it was right down the line.
So let's start off, right, with the first one. We'll start off with supporting actor. Christian Bale is an overwhelming favorite with his guttural characterization in The Fighter. He's about 1 to 7 odds, which puts him at about an 87% favorite. And then the second choice, of course, is Jeffrey Rush for his moving portrayal in The King's Speech. He's about 5 to 1. And then there's John Hawkes with his apocalyptic turn in Winter's Bone, his apocalyptic turn, 150 to 1. And then it was an apocalyptic turn in Winter's Bone. And then there's a Mark Ruffalo with his intemperate characterization in The Kids Are All Right. He's also 150 to 1. And then Jeremy Renner with his fiendishly witty performance in The Town, 150 to 1 as well. So what's your take on that? You think that Christian Bale, even at 87%, is still a good bet, probably?
He's the obvious favorite, and he's going to likely win. Again, there's the Jeffrey Rush possibility, riding on the wave of King's Speech tidal wave. And my personal favorite from this year would be John Hawkes for Winter's Bone. That's not to take away from Christian Bale, who really embodies a former fighter who's become a crack addict. It's an amazing job.
Great. And I read that the voters love people who try to act upon real life stories and things like that. They go for it more than stories that are fiction.
Yeah, I really wouldn't bet against Christian Bale.
The lock.
It's a boxing movie. The Academy loves boxing movies. They always have. It's the bet, probably.
All right, so we move on to supporting actress. Supporting actress, yes. All right, now this is an interesting category. The favorite is Melissa Leo. Melissa Leo for her poignant presentation in The Fighter, but she's actually only about minus 208. At this point, which is only about 2 to 1. The second choice is Haley Steinfeld. Haley Steinfeld for her apocalyptic turn in True Grit. She's about 3 to 1. Haley Steinfeld. And then Helena Bonham Carter from The King's Speech. She's roughly 7 to 1, so she also has a decent shot. And then there's Amy Adams. Amy Adams with her tempestuous portrayal from The Fighter. She's 35 to 1. And then there's Jackie Weaver. Jackie Weaver with her moving portrayal in Animal Kingdom at 100 to 1. So this is a pretty competitive category. What do you like here?
I'm with Roger Ebert on this. I think Haley Steinfeld is actually going to take it, and I think that because the Academy also seems to like to go for the young performance that kind of pulls through amidst seasoned veterans, that precocious turn, and that's Haley Steinfeld. I mean, it's kind of a great story the Academy loves, and I personally have some issues with the way Melissa Leo and The Fighter, the way they portrayed kind of a group of people. I'm sure it may even be a very accurate portrayal, but I think it's a rather mean-spirited and simplistic one. So, and I think that might come back. And Haley Steinfeld's again, it's one of those up-and-comer stories that the Academy loves. Helena Bonham Carter, again, may have a shot, again, riding on the wave of the good feelings towards The King's Speech. and plus she's been around for, doing this for quite a while. I don't think she has a big moment in King's Speech which sets it apart. And I think that's why it's probably going to be. I think it's going to be Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah. I'd say that's going to happen too. Just from reading and looking up and watching interviews, especially with Melissa Leo, she's like, I can't believe that I got auditioned for this role. I thought that I was way too young to be in this position and all this kind of stuff. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, Haley Steinfeld seems brilliant, and she's so young and she's so cute. I'd vote for her if I had any kind of vote. So yeah, possible upset there.
Yeah, I think so.